So I was born in Lubbock, Texas, and I've traveled, or I've lived in most of my life in Texas. I've also lived in Alaska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, last 15 years in Arizona, and spent a couple years in South America and Colombia. And as a child, I always, being in church, always sung in church and loved music. And I remember going to my first concert when I was around 10 or 11. I went to see Amy Grant and just fell in love with music. And always found music to be a good escape for me. I could kind of check out of whatever is going on in my circumstances in my life and find music that I just connected with, and I could it just brought me peace and enjoyment, and would always alter my state of being, bring me back to just joy and happiness. And so from an early age, until I was 28, I thought about singing and performing every single day of my life, all day long, without fail. And to the point it was just making me sick to my stomach, and I wasn't doing anything about it. And so I pretty much forced myself to stop even dreaming, or I just forced myself to stop dreaming, because I wasn't doing anything about it. Nothing was happening. I got married when I was 19 and began raising a family and working. Just there was no time. So from 28 to 38, I spent no time thinking about it. I really shut down that dream, and I was having a conversation with my friend Lisa, and she was talking about her passion for modeling and acting and dancing, and asked me what my dreams were. And I mentioned singing, and it was on a flight from Phoenix to Denver that we were on together. And in that moment, it re-sparked my passion for singing. And then over the course of the next year, I started getting some training, some formal training. Went to Scottsdale Community College and began training classically, and had a series of voice teachers that I worked with and continue to work with. And right now I sing. So from there, I began to just see how much I love singing and how much joy and happiness it brings me. And having no formal training up until 2 years ago, I have been really happy with seeing just where I've gone from starting 2 years ago singing to where I'm at now, and knowing that I do have a voice, and that's my instrument, and that's what I love to use. And to perform and to sing is undescribable how amazing it feels. So that's where I'm at now. So over the course of the year, once I started allowing myself to dream again about singing and performing, I began taking the action steps and started school and training, and then joined the Phoenix Metropolitan Men's Chorus, and I've continued with private voice lessons, and my own journey of just getting over the fact that I'm now 40, but I started when I was 38, and am I too old, or is it too late, or have I waited too long? There's still lots of obstacles that I'm overcoming as far as just training, learning how to use my voice the way I want it, for the sound to come out the way I want it to come out, learning how to use my breath still, and and just my own stage presence of performing. So there's still things to work out, but behind all of that, when I look behind it, the answer that keeps coming up for myself is, if not now, when? And if not me, why not? So it's my dream, it's my passion, and who cares? I'm just gonna have fun, and I'm gonna do it because I love it and it brings me joy and happiness. And I also have seen through my own journey of taking that action that it's inspired others around me. And more than what I've created inside of what I've created for being a singer is that through my performing and through my singing and songs that I write and co-write and music that I produce, is that people are inspired to follow their own passions, whatever they want to do in life. That there's something that through the music that you hear that I perform or I'm a part of that leaves you inspired, and to follow your own dreams and your own passions, because anything is possible. And this is your life and your journey, and it's my life and my journey, and why not? So that's what, when I sometimes get stopped by, oh, I don't sound as good as I'd like to sound, or I don't have the stage presence that I'd like to have. Those are just whatever. That can all be worked out. I can have somebody help me with stage presence. I can continue voice lessons, and I can continue getting better and better and having the voice and sound that I want to have produced.
So what's currently, right now, like what's tangibly, what's in your way right now of achieving this goal?
What's in my way right now of achieving my goal? So my goal is to, right now, over the next 8 months, is to record a demo CD with 3 songs that I'm working on right now, and to have that be a kick-ass, amazing demo CD. And I've got several production record companies that I've been in conversation with that would like to have something from me, who work with other songwriters, and I've begun having another conversation with a songwriter. So what's stopping me right now is well, a couple things. I need to find a new voice coach. So that's the first thing, is having a voice coach to work with. And I've got somebody in mind that I'd like to work with who's a Grammy Award-winning conductor. So I'm going to start there just as a lead. He directs the Phoenix Chorale and the Kansas City Choral. Sorry. He directs, his name is Charles Bruffy. He conducts the Phoenix Choral and the Kansas City Choral, and has produced two Grammy Award-winning CDs from the choruses that he conducts. So I'm going to start with him, having a conversation with him. And then also last week I did a workshop at the Esalen Institute in Big Sur with Dave Stringer, who's a kirtan, world-famous kirtan artist, and also with co-facilitating was Karn Amrit, who is a Grammy-nominated kirtan artist, and began working with her possibly to write songs with me. So what's stopping me now? What's stopping me now is finding another voice coach. Financing and time. I know to produce the results that I need to produce in this short period of time, I would like to have at least 2 2-hour voice lessons a week, and that requires money to do that. But then also, the other thing that's stopping me is discipline. Putting it in my schedule every day to have that I rehearse and practice every day. Because because it's not something I'm accustomed to or used to specifically. So that's definitely missing right now as far as being able to reach my goal in the time frame that I need to reach my goal. What else is missing? What else is missing is...
Sorry, how much financially?
Huh?
How much financially? Like, what would that number look like?
Oh, I don't have the number total off the top of my head, but yeah, it's, I mean, at least almost like $400 a month, at minimum, at least, for voice lessons for twice a week. Probably even more, probably close to $500 a month. And then being able to record, I don't have a number on that, but probably close to $1,500. I'll have that number shortly.
You said there was one more thing.
Yeah, then the other thing is just, I think it comes through the discipline of rehearsing and working with the voice coach who will take the time to work past some of the vocal issues that I'm having. It's just time to develop my voice and to develop these 3 songs in such a way that I want people I want people to have goosebumps when they hear me sing, that they're left inspired. Even on this demo CD, that's the way I want people to be left. So yeah, time, discipline, money.
Okay. What was in the way of those? You said, when was the very first time? When you realized you wanted to sing? How old were you?
I was probably around 10 or 11 years old.
Okay, so from 10 to 11 up to 38, what was in the way?
Fear. Fear for sure. Not knowing. And there wasn't the money for sure. Like, I was raised in a family, working full time. But, I mean, I probably could have figured that out. Mostly it was just fear. Like, it was just a fantasy and a dream.
Fear of what?
Fear that I couldn't do it. That, I don't know.
Well, what would happen if you gave your all and it didn't happen? What would that look like?
I don't know what really stopped me in the past. I just never. There never was the time or money, or there were too many other things going on in my life. For me to focus on what would make me happy. Yeah.
So making it a priority.
Yeah, that's that's actually where things shifted for me, was when I started looking at what makes me happy and where I find my happiness from inside. And I realized how much I enjoy performing, whether it's acting or filming or photography or singing, being creative, even being a massage therapist. Like, I find joy and happiness from I'm happy when I do those things. And in my 20s and in my early 30s, I was always looking for things on the outside to make me happy. And